welcome! Today's video is about two things. I'm going to do a trellis and a plant for this trellis. So this video is 2 in 1 and that's why it is so long. First, let's do the trellis. You have seen me cutting wire here, and it is copper wire, bare, untreated copper wire. I do want to do the trellis as realistic looking as possible, so I'm using real metal here. You can watch me shaping the wire in a speed process. Now I'm doing the very basic process of curling the wire. You see me using round nose pliers, where I'm just holding the wire and twisting it around these pliers. And this is the whole secret about it. These are flat nose pliers, which will leave no mark on the wires. And this is the basic method I use for every single piece of the trellis. Once all the pieces are shaped, we need to connect them. My first attempt was to use the technique called wire wrapping. This is where you use a thinner wire to connect two bigger wires, the pieces that we've already done. This is what you can see me doing here. Just wrap it around two pieces, connect it thoroughly, and that's it. But it turned out to be not stiff enough. All the connections were still movable, you can slide them around, and it wasn't really looking like a trellis and it wasn't really useful. So I tried something else. And here we are, soldering all the pieces together. Since it is real copper, real metal that you would also use in the real world, this method should work. You do take two pieces, add a teeny tiny bit of solder, and then you heat it up. You can see me heating it up here very slowly in big circles from outside, coming slowly to the inside until you can see a color change in the metal. And then you will see the solder floating to the connection points between these two wires. Just wait for the magic to happen. Now I'm pointing it directly on the wires, and here it flows in between these. And that's soldering. And this is the solder result. All pieces are sticking together right now. But you can see a discoloration in the metal, which we don't want to have. So I'm using an acid solution here. This is nothing for kids, only for adults, because it is very, very harmful. So please, don't touch this liquid. When I do shake the metal in this acid, you can see these flakes coming off. And this is exactly the effect that we do not want. The black parts we do want to get rid of, to reveal these shiny coppery parts here. So, and this is the very shiny coppery result after treating it with the acid. But that's not what I'm going for. So I have a second liquid here, which is on the bluish side. I'm going to age it. I want this copper to look like it has been outside in the weather for many, many years and would have changed its color. It gets a bit darker, and it gets this greenish, bluish patina on it. First step, let's make it darker. But wait a minute, we've already had dark metal, which we made shiny with acid, and now we put something else on it to make it darker again? Wow, what is going on here? It doesn't make sense. The first color stain, the first blackness, was from heating it up, from putting it into fire, into flame. And it was a complete different look. It was like a shell around the wire. At a closer look, you would see this flakiness that was coming off in the acid. And this is something that we do not want. This is something that you could also peel off with your fingernail and would come off over time. So this is not a long-term solution, you know what I mean? So now we are doing it the way it would happen in real life, just faster. Once I think the solution has done its job and it is dark enough for my taste, I do clean it up a bit. I do take the solution off to stop the reaction. Once this is done, we need a third solution. Because we also want to have this blue and greenish patina. This is what this stuff is doing. I'm only adding a teeny tiny bit of it on some spots because this is a very strong reacting solution. And then we are going to wait and let the magic happen again. The third solution will take its time until the greenish patina will be on its full glory. And meanwhile, I do want to craft a wooden flower box, and it is a very easy process, so we're gonna speed it up. So now let's slow down and get to the plan. It is going to be climbing sweet peas in the color purple pinkish. You know, it's one of my favorite colors. And it is again a crafting kit from Etsy from Moonflower. So this is all the stuff that comes within the kit. As always, in the kits from Moonflower, which I can totally recommend, just go there and buy them, there is too much material in there than it is just stated in a tutorial that comes with it. The instructions, I mean. So this is the version I come up with following the instructions. There is a very delicate way of folding the blossoms, and I'm trying to show it to you step by step, 1, 2, 3 here. But honestly, it is so tiny, it is very hard to capture on video. And there is a second way of folding the flowers. I'm not trying to explain it here, but I'm trying to show you the result. The first version of folded flowers or blossoms are going to be placed on top of every stem, and the remainings are going to be placed everywhere else. We are going to keep some single blossoms for the end of this plant project, and now we are going to do all the leaves. We are going to bend them and twist them and shape them, the whole bunch of it, which is going to take some time. And then in the tutorial it says it is time to glue the leaves, and this is what I started here. I'm using white glue or wood glue. It is just a crafting glue that dries translucent. But before that, we do want to add the whole plant to the trellis, because I do want to bend it around as it would have grown through all these swirls and curls, and the leaves would be in a way and maybe come off. So we do glue the leaves after that step. And the last step for this plant is to add the single blossoms randomly wherever I think it would be beautiful. And now it's time to use the plant box. I'm going to put a lot of glue inside and fill it all with styrofoam. Then I do prepare a mixture of sand and dark brown color to mimic dirt. I do put the wet stuff all on the surface of the styrofoam. And before all the mixture, meaning the glue, the styrofoam, the sand and the color has dried up, I'm I'm going to put the trellis and the plant into it. And I'm going to shape it a bit here and there until I'm fine with how it looks. Please don't mind the little teeny tiny blossoms, flowers that I've already put into the flower box. I couldn't help myself. I had to do some daisies in all range of colors by myself. It wasn't a crafting kit, but in comparison with these little teeny tiny flowers and the piece up there, the green color of the leaves somehow was too vibrant and too artificial to me. So here's the next step that I'm going to do, which is not mentioned in the tutorial. I'm using pastel chalk that you can see up there, some water and a paintbrush obviously. I'm using dark green, a light yellow and some brown for the stem. And now I'm really going to color every single leaf from the front and from the back until I'm going to like it. I would recommend to do this step before even shaping or gluing all the leaves to the stems, to the wires, because this is such a long time process. Just don't do it in this order, do it as I recommended. But every process has its end, and we are done. Let's give it some love. Almost at the end of the video, and when you've stayed that long, it may seem that you've liked the video. Would you please give it a thumbs up and may consider subscribing. See you next time. Bye bye bye.